Hello everyone and welcome to a deck tech. Today we have Xenan Killer, something I've been toying around with. A deck I like and dislike at times. In the past I've just, like Xenan Obelisk to me is just such a card. Like, it's good in this type of deck, does so many things, but sometimes just playing on forward, taking a turn off, it is just taking a turn off at times. It doesn't do much. But then when you hit your synergies with it, it's very awesome. You have Arc Interrogator and stuff like that. So this is one of these decks that I've always been wanting to play and play more. And I think right now might be a decent time to play it with the way the meta is shifting, the way Hailstorm and In Cold Blood has really affected the meta. I think this deck can kind of play around with that. So let's get into it. We have Dark Return, very good for all of our units. They're all very impactful. They all have a lot of good abilities, and with a lot of like the removal piles and just removal is super heavy. It's more into this mid-range control sort of meta, so getting back your units is super important. Annihilate just as a one-of, just as kind of a catch-all. There's a decent amount of time mid-range decks. The Argenport deck has a lot of mono-faction units, so we can kill those early and then save our into Cold Bloods for later on in the matchups when we want to hit Tat Rods and stuff like that. Most Killers lists, we're playing 4 Blister Sting Wasp. We're playing just 2 because we are playing 4 of the new Rip Knife Assassin. Just a note, this is one of the reasons why I wanted to play this deck, was Rip Knife Assassin. I wanted to try it out in this. Second Blue has posted a couple lists and played with it a little bit. So some of this list is taken from him, and Larmadillo's list from the Invitational, and just stuff like that. It's just me taking those lists, kind of adapting it to what I like, and just getting ideas. That's what most deck building and stuff like that is. Some people think it's like net decking, but it's whatever. So this is my variation on one of their lists. And Rip Knife Assassin is overall amazing. Works similar how you would use Blister Sting Wasp with the Deadly and using Xenan Initiation. Same sort of concept, except for we have Warcry with this, and it's super awesome. You swing with this, you get the Warcry effects. Amazing if you hit Auric Interrogator. If not, you're hitting other things that are just pushing them out of Hailstorm range, and just, a 6-7 Titan on 4 is pretty sweet. I'd say so myself. A lot of these decks are playing Temple Scribe. I don't like Temple Scribe because it's 2-time, it's a 2-drop, that's just a 1-1. The best thing is, if we do draw the card, we do filter through our deck, which is kind of needed. I really want to play Dream Snatcher in this spot. I feel like it's more effective maybe, but also just being able to draw that card is very important. And with Dream Snatcher, we're not playing Sabotage, and we're only on 2 Varus choice, so it's not as effective. So I think Temple Scribe just fits really well here, and it does get pumped up from Obelisk, so we're really good there. So it's not as wasteful as in some of these other time mid-range decks that still play it, where it's not really needed and not very good. Only had 2 Varus choice, had to make room somewhere, kind of toying around with things. We have decent removal with Banish and In Cold Blood. I'm kind of on like 2 of us is all of our removal. I'm not sure that's where I want to be final. This is just kind of where I am now in the midst of testing, kind of want to get it out there. But Varus choice in the past I've played 4 of. Kind of wish I could fit a 3rd, maybe even a 4th, but just the way the list is shaping up. Again, we're only playing, we top out at 4 basically, except for our 3 Carnosaurs, which are at 6, and we're trying to get to 8 to get the superpower effect of Xenan Obelisk. So with that in mind, we're only on 3 Var's favor, so we're on 28 sources of power, which I think is kind of fine for this deck. We have some filtering with Scribe, we have Auric Interrogator draws possibly, so we have ways to kind of draw, filter through, and then we're only really topping out at 4 and getting into our 6 with Carnosaur, so I don't think the power has been quite an issue so far in my testing. And then we'll move to Xenan Initiation, one of the best cards in the deck. One of the reasons why we're kind of sparse on these removals is just 2-ofs. It basically is a removal, making our Interrogator draw a card, just making all of our dudes bigger, getting them out of range of stuff like Hailstorm is also super important. putting 1/1 on killer on Dawnwalker, slamming into something, killing it, Dawnwalker dies, bring it back with your Sandstorm Titan or Carnosaur. Super effective, huh? It's just one of the reasons to play this style of deck is Xenan Initiation. Super good, super effective. Org Interrogator we talked about a bit, some of our draw engine, just a powerful unit, a 3-drop for 3. We have to draw some cards, lots of effects to pump it up. We have the Warcry off Ripknife Assassin, we have Dark Return, we have Xenan Initiation, we have Xenan Obelisk. I think in Xenan, this is where the card kind of gets its most use. Yes, in Archport you have the weapons and stuff, but there's so many effects in Xenan. I think Orc Interrogator really fits well in this style of deck. And of course, it wouldn't be a Xenan deck without Aeon. Not much to say besides it's just super good. Against the control decks, you can kind of play around Harsh Rule a bit. They play Harsh Rule at the end of turn, you play this, and if you have Obelisk out, it at times can just be a 6/6 that you're slamming down, swinging through. One of the best removals just in the game, Banish, because it can hit relics as well. So you can hit stuff like Rune Hammers, which can be very, very effective. They go turn, you play a creature on turn 3, their turn 4, they go to play like Rune Hammer and stuff. You can banish up, banish their Rune Hammer, and then they're kind of SOL. So it's pretty darn good. Good old Dawnwalker. Now Dawnwalker is kind of weird in this deck. You look at it, we only have Titan and Carnosaur to bring it back. But we have Obelisk, which pumps up our other units. So potential other Dawnwalkers, potential other Orc Interrogators can get played, bring a Dawnwalker back, and it's super good. And then I feel In Cold Blood is just too good not to include. We're not playing 4 because we don't want to clog up our hands with 4 cost removals, and it can slow down our tempo. But in certain matchups, In Cold Blood is just so good. If not, it's just a slow death strike. It's fine. Just kill whatever we need, and it's good. I approve. Hits whatever the other ones don't hit, basically. And Sandstorm Titan, another Xenan, or basically anytime mid-range staple. We're not playing any flyers besides Wasp, so the units can't fly effect is very good in this style of deck, and it's pretty good right now with a bunch of the flying units, especially with Inquisitor's Blade out. Stop that flying, so we can still block, even though the units are going to be maybe bigger, but it all depends on our Obelisk. Kind of the cornerstone of this deck is Obelisk. A lot of some of the synergy goes around it, and it just, when your Temple Scribe becomes a threatening unit, that's pretty good. A late, normally a late game, you draw a Temple Scribe, you're like, oh, hopefully it's just a filter and draw me a better card. This time, sometimes it's a 4/4. Sweet, that draws a card, I'll take it. And then Carnosaur, I was playing 2, I moved it up to 3 just because I want this effect. I want a bigger unit over the top, and just killer effects are very good. And this is probably the best one. So let's move it into our power. We're at 7 time, 2 Amber Monument. We want to hit on curve, and one of the reasons we moved down to 2 is playing Crest Impulse, just to be able to scout. This is something I saw in Second Blues deck that he's doing. We don't need the red. We just do it for the scout. Xenan does not have a crest, so this is kind of the only way we can do it. So we kind of shave off the Amber Monument so we can get some better filtering. And so far it's been pretty good. I like it. Hasn't clogged up much. And we're playing 29 units, so technically 31-ish if you want to count the Amber Monuments. So I don't think we're really hurting for additional units by dropping the other Amber Monuments, so I don't think that's a big loss. Overall, the deck is fun to play, something I really enjoy, something I keep on wanting to tool around with. I don't think this will be the final build, but this is where it's right now is kind of feeling good and performing well. There's a lot of potential here. I think in the current meta it has a lot to offer, and especially for playing in tournaments and ETS and stuff alike. There's so many sideboard options. You can put more various choices. You can put Mystic Ascendants to, if you're playing in a slower type matchup, Mystic Ascendants to have that more draw engine, more removal, more banishes, more cold bloods, more annihilates, all this good chunky removal can just be in your sideboard for the right matchups. And then there's also sabotage against those control decks. we have Vara's Favor to pop any face Aegrises and then Sabotage. So many options in the sideboard. This color combination is very good for, I think, tournaments because of that. Just the effects of sideboards can have in your tournament play. So definitely give this a test. Try it out, especially with sideboarding and all that stuff. And I wish you the best of luck. I've been enjoying it. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.